Sometimes I feel like throw my hands up in the air. I know I can count on you.
How do we start?
However you want.
You tell me. I don't know how to start a video. Hello.
All right, the 7 habits of highly effective people is right here. We're going to be coming with every single habit, but first we really want to dive into the objectives of the book, an overview of the book, and the inside out section that Stephen Covey covers in this book. So first, I'm going to pass over the mic and give this beautiful woman right here really her thoughts on the opening chapter of this book, Paradigms.
It's about paradigm. So, what is a paradigm? Basically, a paradigm is the way you see the world, in other words, right? Like the way you act, the way you feel, even the way you think. So, that's what will finally configure your world, your outside world. And why is this chapter called Inside Out? Because you first have to dive inside you and put that out. So whatever you don't like in your life, in your context, and you see that you're not getting results,
It starts with your feelings. Your feelings lead to your thoughts lead to your actions, and your actions eventually lead to your results.
Exactly. And another thing that is really important is how your feelings about others too will determine the quality of your relationships also. So, how do you feel people? And how do you see them? And finally, how do you respect their own paradigms, their own worlds? Because we are all coming from different worlds. We have different families, we are raised in different places, and you have to be respectful. You shouldn't be thinking the same way as others, but you do need to respect the way they think. That's another really important thing. Like, you have to learn that the way others see the world is not the same way you see the world. So just be respectful of that.
And have empathy towards that as well.
Don't judge. Be always in the other's place. And there I would love to say that love, is what will make you start being empathetic with others and start trying to see what is really going on with that person and just understand.
Do not underestimate how simple this first part can be, because it's one thing to read it, it's another thing to understand it, and it's an even third thing to implement that and really live by that, which is what we're trying to do. Be able to take this and put it into practice in your everyday life is one of the hardest things. So realize that it's going to take time. It doesn't just happen overnight.
Respect your own feelings. Be true to your feelings. Don't try to show something different that you are not, because that way you will really see the results your feelings are getting, right? So just stay true to yourself. And if you really see that those feelings are not getting the results, okay, change your paradigms and you will change your feelings too. That's the only way to change. Like, if you try to do superficial things to change your behavior, you won't get the results, or that behavior won't last forever. Like, the only real way to change is to change the way you are seeing the problems, the world.
And that's it. If you want to change your situation, you must change yourself, right? If you want to change yourself, you must change your paradigms and your perceptions, the way that you see the world. So moving on, we're going to get into, really, I want to talk about one example that Stephen covers in the book. It is about a guy that walks into the bus. He walks onto the bus. It's actually him. He's talking about himself, right? He walks onto the bus and sits down, starts reading, and some dad walks in with 3 kids. They come, they sit down, the dad sits down, he looks a little bit upset, and the kids just start going crazy. They're throwing things around, they're bothering people next to them, they're screaming, making loud noises, and at first, Stephen doesn't really want to tell the gentleman anything, the dad anything. Eventually, he says, hey, I want you to know that your kids are actually disturbing a lot of the people here on the bus. We definitely got to do something about this. And the guy just slowly, looks up and says, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. We actually just came from the hospital and their mother just died. Right? So while Stephen was, really upset and wanted to actually try and help the situation, that was the least of this gentleman's worries. This gentleman's paradigm was completely different. And so being able to respect that, and have empathy towards that, if he knew that, he wouldn't have even needed to say anything to this gentleman, but be able to help him in another way than complain about the kids. Yeah.
He even tell him, how can I help you? Because we sometimes just don't know what is the other person going through.
One thing that really stuck with me that I made sure to highlight is the way that we see the problem is most often the problem. Right? So that comes into the paradigms that you have. The way that the way we see the problem is the problem. Right? Really think about that. This chapter may seem very easy, but like I said, this is very, very deep to be able to not only read, but understand and then implement.
And another thing is that for me, this was helpful. I finished the book, I went again to that first chapter, and it's like everything makes sense now. And just don't stop there. If you have doubts, we can help you, but don't stop because you didn't understand some concepts. You will understand them eventually while reading the book, and you will start understanding if you start implementing those things in your life.
Understanding that not only the paradigm shift, but what we are says a lot more than what we say or what we do.
Stay true to yourself, stay loyal to yourself, because what you really are, what you really have inside, will say much more than the things you say. Because finally, it's in your subconscious mind, so you start acting like your paradigms. The first step is to recognize your paradigms. What are the beliefs I have behind this behavior? So I hate that I behave this way. Okay, why am I behaving this way? What's my paradigm behind everything I'm doing that I don't really like?
Think about that and dig deep, find some silence throughout the day, really write these things down, really make sure that you're able to understand yourself. So moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about before the habits. Stephen talks about the production and the production capability balance. So what is the key takeaway with the production and the production capability balance?
The key is equilibrium. As everything in our life, you need to produce, but you need to have the capability to produce. Don't focus only on producing and not getting the capability, and the same in the other way. I am mostly like a person that will try to have all the capability before producing, but finally you don't produce. Like if you are just centered in that, you won't produce. So just try to find the balance, try to produce as much as you can, and try to also create that capability as much as you can. So personal development is a perfect match with capability, and you have to develop yourself, but always try to do it in a deeper level. Don't try to rush things by just implementing superficial solutions.
Absolutely, and really I want to end with something that I love personally, I know she loved, is the fact that your private victories will always precede public victories. So things that you're getting done for yourself, things that you're accomplishing, goals, doesn't matter what it may be, even just your paradigms, right? Your principles, it all first is most important for yourself, right? Because it all starts within you. What is inside you is what speaks to the world.
And another crazy thing is that when people see you shining, when people really see that you are accomplishing all your goals and you are doing things for yourself and you are really growing from inside, they will immediately feel attracted to you. That's crazy, but it's true. Now that I am here in this country that is all about production, right? This is all about production and not so much about capability. Like in my country is the other way. So I think that now that I am starting to balance the production and the capability, it's like everybody's just, I don't know, they see that I am accomplishing my goals, I am really doing my things, and they realize, they see you and they know. So I think that that's the key, and that's how you start, right?
That's it. Private victories will always precede public victories. We will see you on the first habit. I hope you got value. Drop a comment, like, and subscribe to this channel, and message us if you have any questions. We'd love to get, not only your feedback, but your thoughts on this first chapter and
your
everything.
opinion. And I would love if you can drop a message there telling us which one was like the most important
Takeaway.
yes, like the paradigm shift you had, like something that really changed your mind and
The
changed
aha
your
moment.
work. Yes.
Perfect.